on the rundown. Balenciaga issues an apology after receiving backlash over their campaign featuring children modeling with BDSM teddy bears. Celebrities such as Kim Kardashian have also condemned the fashion house over the mishap. Is the apology enough, or should more disciplinary actions be taken? I'll give you my thoughts. The girls of Xscape are fighting as they address all the latest drama from the Soul Train Awards.
What I like to say is continue to shine your light for the world to see. And when you're shining your light, bring somebody up.
And claim that LaTocha Scott's husband may be the reason why all four ladies aren't touring together. And speaking of music, Jennifer Lopez announced that she's dropping a new album in 2023, her first full-length since releasing AKA back in 2014. But anytime you mention J-Lo on music, she tends to get a lot of backlash when it comes to her singing. So why all the hate? I'll break it down for all of you. Plus, we have news on Billy Porter, Will Smith, Kim and Kanye, and a whole lot more on The Rundown with your host, Chris Avalon.
Ooh, hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to a brand new episode of The Rundown. I'm your host, Chris Avalon, and yes, we are here. We're about to, get into some things. We're going to talk about all the celebrity news and gossip that's been going on throughout the week. Bitch, it's been real busy. A lot of stuff going on, back to back. A lot of stuff we definitely got to get into. We're going to be talking about, as you saw in the beginning, we said we're going to talk about Xscape. Kim K, Will Smith, you name it, we're going to talk about it. Plus, we got some tea on, and yeah, I did mention Balenciaga. But we're also going to talk about Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams was, trying to get herself back in her good graces. Well, in our good graces and in hers. But now she got two thorns in her ass that's coming for her, like her damn ex-husband and a brother. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Dwayne Wade and this drama he's going through with his ex-wife over Zaya wanting to change her name. We're going to talk about Billy Porter. This TJ Holmes and Amy Robach story. Child, this shit is getting to be messy boots. We definitely got to break that down. It's a whole lot to get to with that tea. But before we get to the the topics and things, I want y'all to do me a nice solid and smash that like button down below. Those of you watching live, so that way you'll know and help the algorithms and stuff, because YouTube be playing in my face when it comes to these algorithms. But I've been cutting up these episodes and posting on TikTok. So shout out to all my followers on TikTok. Y'all be helping me with these numbers and giving me my life and stuff. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to all y'all that follow me. Shout out to those of you watching live and comment as we talk about the topics. And also follow me on all my social media platforms at the Chris Avalon. That's all of my stuff. It's easy to find, very simple. I like to simplify shit for people. But anyway, so before we get into the topics, I did want to bring up, we were off last week because Thanksgiving, the second and third. Hey, Kano, how are you doing? And there was a lot of things it wasn't a lot that was going on in the news. But one of the things I wanted to acknowledge was the fact we had the shooting in Colorado of the, hey, Robert, how are you? Happy Saturday. Or how you doing is what you should have said. We had the whole Colorado shooting, 5 people were killed. I meant to send a damn picture earlier. I knew I was supposed to do something to production. I was like, wait a minute, there's so much going on today. It was just a lot. But yeah, we had the Colorado shooting. A lot of people were saying that it was drag queens that beat up the guy that shot the people up in the club, but apparently it was trans people that did it. So shout out to the LGBTQ community, and it goes to show y'all that just because there's a stereotype in media that gay people can't fight, don't believe the hype, because the gays will definitely step up and do what they gotta do when they need to. So unfortunately, it was similar to like what happened with the Pulse massacre, but with this, at least, you know, they were like, oh hell no, y'all not gonna come up here and do this bullshit and then we just gonna put up with it. Like, that's not how it's going. Like, we not doing that. Not up in here. So shout out to, you know, my condolences to people who lost their lives, but also it's like, we seriously got to do something about these gun laws in America. And we seriously, you know, I'm glad marriage equality passed, and I think it has to go. Is it the Supreme Court or something or another? It's got to go through. Like, it already made it past. What was it? The Senate. I'm trying to remember the damn story, and I wrote it myself. You know, so we're just, you know, there's a lot going on. You know, people can, you know, stay married, this, that, and the third. You know, mass shootings is a prominent thing that goes on in our country that we definitely need to deal with. I don't know any other countries that have the issues that we have, but you know, these phallically challenged men out here, y'all live for y'all weapons of mass destruction. I don't know what's so important about a gun. Like, they look cool. Don't get me wrong, they look cool and all other stuff, but it's like, that should just be the end all be all when it comes to, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I don't have my gun in my holster. I was like, is my camera? Oh yeah, it's on. Yeah, we're definitely the number one in mass shootings. But anyway, so let's get into the show, because I don't want to make it all somber and depressing and we get into politics and stuff. I'll leave that to the Young Turks and all those other shows. Okay, so let's talk about one of the things I want to talk about, because, you know, I've been watching, you know, with the holidays and stuff, I've been watching a lot of TV. I just finished 1899 yesterday. You know, that show that was created by the guy, but the guy that did Dark. It's a show where, like, these people on this boat called the Prometheus, and it's just a lot of weird stuff happens and this, that, and the third. It's a really good show. I just finished that yesterday, and of course, you know, Wednesday finally came out, so I had to watch that. That's like my new favorite show. So that's our first topic, because we got to talk about it. So congratulations to Netflix series Wednesday, which has shattered records with 341.23 million hours viewed in its first week. Now I just realized I made a mistake because I spelled shattered wrong. See, this is me, you know, when I'm on my own articles and realizing my mistakes without correcting it. But anyway, so this story is from Deadline. It says it now holds the record as the most hours viewed in a week for any English language TV series on Netflix. Impressively, that beat Stranger Things 4, which previously held the title. Now, at its peak, the first 7 episodes of Stranger Things 4 notched 335 million hours viewed in its first full week on the service, and second week in the top 10. Now, the current all-time record holder is Squid Game with 571.8 million hours viewed in its peak week on Netflix. Sidebar. Did y'all hear the story about the actor from Squid Game that was accused of assault? Child, I gagged when I heard that. So the old man from the first season. I'm like, we found out he out here doing, you know, because you know with algorithms I can't say, but you can read between the lines. Anyway, let's get back to the article. So Wednesday has made its way into the top 10 in all 93 countries that Netflix tracks, and it sits at number 1 at 83 in of them, a record that also shared with Stranger Things 4. Now, according to Netflix, Wednesday has been viewed in more than 50 million households. Starring my girl, Jenna Ortega, who, by the way, I cannot wait to see her in the upcoming Scream 6 movie. We're going to get into that in a second, what my overall thoughts is. But, you know, the series basically follows the character's years as a student at Nevermore Academy, where she attempts to master her emerging psychic ability throughout a monstrous killing spree that has terrorized the local town and solved the murder mystery that embroiled her parents 25 years ago, all while navigating her new and very tangled relationships at Nevermore. Now, what I have to say is I love about this show is the fact that it's done by Alfredo and Miles Miller, who did Smallville, I believe. And they also did, oh my God, what's the name of that damn show? The martial arts series that was on AMC at one point. It escapes my damn brain. It'll probably come to me. But anyway, so they did that show, Into the Badlands. They worked on that show. I like their stuff. So I already knew what I was getting into when I watched Wednesday. And I was hoping and praying the show was going to be good. And on top of that, we had Tim Burton as a part of it. So you definitely get that aesthetic. Well, yeah, I kind of hated Smallville too, only because it took us 10 seasons to get him in the costume. But then we still didn't really get to see him in action as Superman. So that's what irritated me about that damn show. But overall, because it was my generation, I grew up in that. I liked it for what it was. My favorite Superman is probably Henry Cavill, but that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, so I was going in hoping and praying that this show would not suck, and it has not disappointed me in the slightest. So I love this show. Cannot wait for the second season. But I remember Robert was telling me something. We were having a conversation, and I was like, that's stupid. So he was saying that because he said Netflix is waiting to see how Jenna Ortega's fate, or what her fate will be in the upcoming Scream movie, to see if they're going to move forward with this show Wednesday, which I think is dumb. Number one, Wednesday is like one of your biggest number shows. Stranger Things has one more season and they're done. Netflix doesn't have this thing where y'all could just be picking and choosing, because they just canceled oh my god, what was it? They canceled one of those damn shows that was on Netflix recently, where the guy just jumped ship and went over to Amazon. Amazon is coming over and poaching a lot of stuff from Netflix, quiet as it's kept. I heard they took Midnight Mass. That's going over to the Amazon Prime, and their other show is going over there, The House on Haunted Hill. So Netflix is being a little picky right now. I don't think y'all have a say in whether or not, or a dog in this fight where y'all want to sit and be like, well, we're just going to twiddle our thumbs and see if she survives. But number one, Jenna Ortega is like, no, this generation's Scream Queen. She is the Gen Z Scream Queen. Like, in the Gen Z Scream Queen, in my opinion, was Jamie Lee Curtis, because she was like the Scream Queen of the late 70s and way into the 80s and beyond. Well, and then until the whole horror movie genre kind of died out, and then it kind of revived itself again in like the mid 90s, which is sort of the millennial era. When you were in your 30s and second, third. Neve Campbell was a Scream Queen of that era, and now we're in the Gen Z era. Jenna Ortega has kind of taken on that mantle of being the Scream Queen of that generation, because she was in the Scream 5. She did X, which I have not watched yet. I need to. I know it's on Paramount Plus, I believe. So I definitely got to get around to watching that, because I have, Showtime. Showtime is actually, you can get Showtime with, oh my God, what is it? Paramount Plus. And I think before that, the era before Jamie Lee Curtis was her mother, Janet Leigh. So Scream Queens, it's every decade or every kind of generation, I guess, gets their Scream Queen. But anyway, so I'm actually like, y'all definitely need to greenlight this show. Y'all need to figure out. Oh, Sissy Spacek. I don't think she did many horror movies. I think that was like the one. I mean, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but Sissy Spacek did Carrie, but I don't think she was a Scream Queen. It was basically Jamie Lee Curtis, because Jamie Lee Curtis did so many horror movies, like between Halloween, Halloween 2, The Fog, Prom Night. There were, what was the other one? Was it Death Train? The one they were on, oh my God, it probably is Death Train or whatever cases, but the name escapes me, and I am a horror movie fanatic. But yeah, Terror Train, that's what it was. I don't know why I said Dead Train. Terror Train. She did that one, because I actually watched that not too long ago. I think it's on Shudder. But anyway, Jamie Lee's mother was Janet Leigh, if that's who you're talking about, who was in Psycho. The infamous shower scene. But you're saying who's the actress from Carrie, the original? Well, the actor from Carrie, the original Carrie, was Sissy Spacek, and that's even not. I know her daughter's an actress, but anyway, back to the show. That I don't know. So I'm actually looking forward to this. But what were they saying? All the other shows that were doing well on Netflix. It says in the number 2 spot on the Netflix top 10 of the week of November 21st to 27th is 1899, which I was telling y'all about earlier. I said, I've been watching that show. I finished it yesterday. It was actually pretty good. One of the guys from Elite's on there. And I believe that some of the actors that was on Dark is on that show as well. The Crown was knocked to 3rd place, notching 42.36 million hours viewed, and Dead to Me Season 3 took home another 33.3 M hours viewed. The rest of the list in order is Manifest Season 4, Manifest Season 1. Okay, we don't care about all that extra stuff. But I have to say that 1899 is a pretty good show, so definitely check that show out if y'all can. Congratulations to Wednesday, because I thoroughly enjoyed the show, and I think it's really good. The costumes, and here's the thing, I understand they shoot Scream in Canada, and they shot Wednesday in Europe. I don't know how long it took to shoot this first season. I'm assuming because it's 8 episodes, it had to be about 2 months, 2.5 months. Scream is basically the same thing. I think they took like 3 months to shoot that. So I don't understand why y'all can't figure out how to make it work in the schedule. I know because she's called number 1 on the call sheet, she has to be, in just about every damn scene. But y'all need to figure out how to make the schedule work if y'all basically want her back for the show, if you want to keep them numbers. But this is why I think people feel weird about Netflix, because Netflix is so unreliable when it comes to shows. Where it's like, I be invested in a show and y'all can't say the ones that good enough. The algorithm number's not enough. Yes, Christina Ricci was amazing on the show. That was another, I'm glad you brought that because I almost forgot. Christina Ricci is on the show, and I love that the fact that you have the original Wednesday from the Addams Family movies as a character in this show made me love it even more. So it was like nostalgia. And it's hilarious how this generation had no idea Christina Ricci was in the Addams Family movies. I'm like, sometimes I just be giving y'all that what's her name? That look, that Aretha Franklin look, just like, well, I just gotta look at y'all like, are you dumb? But yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt doesn't count after I Still Know sequel. She left not wanting to be typecast, but she does the Ghost Whisperer. Ghost Whisperer, I cannot get into. My mother used to love that show. I do agree. Jennifer Love Hewitt could have been, because they were all at that time when Scream was successful, everybody was trying to capitalize on the horror movie genre. And so you had, Disturbing Behavior, you had I Know What You Did Last Summer, you had Urban Legend, which I actually watched not too long ago. I love that movie. And Jared Leto looking like a snail up in there. And you had Rebecca Gayheart. It was a whole cool cast. I love that show. And speaking of which, they had, what's his name from Smallville? The actor that played Lex Luthor, Michael Rosenbaum, who has an amazing podcast if y'all haven't heard it. Oh yeah, the LGBT content gets canceled. Netflix is a mess. I have a feeling like Amazon might be the place to go. Amazon might be the network that everybody should go to, because Netflix be playing in our face, especially when y'all just don't support shows long enough to get people to stay. Y'all so worried about people signing up. But anyway, so let's move on because I'm getting too caught up in this thing. So let's talk about Balenciaga, messy ass. So apparently after receiving backlash over their recent campaign where kids were seen modeling with teddy bears dressed in BDSM gear, Balenciaga has issued a lengthy apology over the ads. Now the ad campaign also featured an image of the Supreme Court ruling from United States v. Williams about child pornography. Now here's their statement in the apology. Let me take my time. Because I'm just trying to speed rush. We would like to address the controversy surrounding our recent ad campaigns. We strongly condemn child abuse. It was never our intent to include it in our narrative. The 2 separate ad campaigns in question reflect a series of grievous errors for which Balenciaga takes responsibility, the statement read. The first campaign, the gift campaign, collection campaign, featured children with plush teddy bears dressed in what seemed to have been labeled BDSM-inspired outfits. Our plush bear bags and the gift collection should not have been featured with children. This is a wrong choice by Balenciaga, combined with our failure in assessing and validating images. The responsibility for this lies with Balenciaga alone. Really? Because didn't y'all try to blame everybody else but yourselves for this thing, and even decided to file a lawsuit against one of the companies that decided third, saying that they asked to do, which, by the way, I'm glad I checked it out because I was doing some research, and yesterday it just so happens that they dropped the lawsuit. So they were throwing a $25 million lawsuit against them. We didn't know what this was, and it's like, that's some bullshit, number one. And I think this apology, even though I ain't finished reading it, is a bullshit too. Y'all not taking responsibility. I've been told that I should try voice act. But I find it hilarious I'm reading the comments. You know, I know people could be like, "What is all this Tourette's moments you having, or some crazy?" Like I'm having, like I'm having a moment. It's like what that is a lot of times I'm reading the comments from people who are watching this on live. For those who are watching this during the, the playback, I'm gonna explain that. But anyway, so yeah. This whole thing is a bunch of BS. I know Kim Kardashian came out and condemned them, this and the other, but does that mean you're dropping are you going to part ways as an ambassador? Because she's an ambassador of the fashion house. So is Kim Kardashian going to like no longer be a part of Balenciaga? And I saw the other day they was getting on Teresa Giudice to win Balenciaga, but she ain't the brightest. So what do you expect? What I don't get is the fact that, okay, how did y'all not know? So, look, fashion is full of homosexuals, aren't they? I'm not trying to stereotype, but there's a lot of gays running around in the fashion industry. Don't none of y'all know nobody that work inside y'all company that dress up, that know anything about leather and this, that, and the third, or y'all just too scared to rock the damn boat? Because I would have been like, this is some dumb foolishness right here. I know people are trying to equate it with child porn or whatever. I don't think that's what that is, because you didn't see the kids sitting there half naked holding the bears. Now that would have been taking it to a whole nother level. But just the fact that you have children in here, Balenciaga to me has been trying to enamor itself on controversy to sell their product, because quiet as it's kept. I've looked at Balenciaga stuff. Y'all clothes ain't been given what needs to be given. I don't know what people see in Balenciaga as of late. You having Kim Kardashian in full black with a mask over her face on what was it, the Met Gala recently? I think it was this year. What was that? Like, I've seen shit like that. That was not giving me anything. I was like, okay, bored. It's like, what was she saying? Old girl from Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Bored now. Willow. Remember Evil Willow? Bored now. That's what she gave me with that outfit. I was bored. It wasn't giving. Whatever. Well, to be honest, I don't think any of the fashions was really giving during what I forget what the theme was, but majority of the fashions there wasn't giving. But anyway. So I didn't like, I've been looking at a couple of clothes. I didn't like their stuff. Y'all were looking for a reason to be controversial to make stuff. And aren't y'all the same company that allowed Kanye to do a White Lives Matter, t-shirt where y'all had White Lives Matter on the back of it? Wasn't that Balenciaga too? So I don't get it. Kato says, okay, my honest opinion, I didn't think sex looking at the pics, but they wanted to do the obvious and they need to be shut down. Yeah, I didn't get sex from it either. I just think that it was violently inappropriate to project something on children that they're not aware of, that they don't know anything about. Kids don't know nothing about the leather community and this, that, and the third. They don't know nothing about that. And I've heard certain people out here on social media spreading a narrative, which is not true, by the way, that kids are going to Folsom Street Fair, and that's that and the third. That is a lie. Number one, kids cannot get into Folsom Street Fair. You have to pay to get into Folsom. Trust and believe when I tell you this. I've been there. There's no kids up in there. You have to pay to get in. And a lot of times you have adults naked at these events. So you're not going to see children at Folsom. So people who have never been there, stop spreading bullshit and lies. But anyway, are children buying this fashion? No, but their parents are. The parents are the ones that's buying Balenciaga. I mean, if you got Balenciaga money, then I guess a kid could buy it. But for the most part, these wealthy children are not buying, or I wouldn't say wealthy children, I'll say regular children. They're not buying Balenciaga. But they also said we are closely revising our organization and collective ways of working. Secondly, they said they are reinforcing the structures around our creative processes and validation steps. We want to ensure that new controls mark a pivot and will prevent this from happening again. And then they said we are laying the groundwork with organizations who specialize in child protection and aims at ending child abuse and exploitation. Well, was there child abuse and exploitation in this situation? Because the father, one of the kids, didn't he say he didn't have a problem with the shoe? But this also goes to show, like, can we even compare this to the Tiffany Haddish situation? Like, remember when she was like, "Oh, your kids. I'm not gonna do anything crazy with them," and they had them in this weird sketch where Aries Spears was kind of like this chest of this pedophile when it's crazy stuff there. But and then mother's like, "Oh well, I trust them wholeheartedly with some grown person. So I'm gonna just leave my kids to that." Or is it that a lot of these parents are so fixated on money that they're willing to exploit their own children for a check? And we hear so many stories from so many child actors when they grow up and they go on a lot of these shows. And they talk so much about how their mothers treated them and how their parents pimped them out. And they had to do so many things that as a kid they couldn't say no to because they don't have the power. The adult who's supposed to be your protector is the one who has the power. So they're putting you in these situations where you could possibly, be in harm's way. And it comes to a point where parents, your child's safety and dignity should come before a coin. I'm over it. And I'm over these damn fashion houses. Y'all are a mess. And like I said, Kim issued a statement. I don't care enough to read it. But I guess we could say congratulations to her because she's getting $200,000 in child support after finalizing her divorce from that madman that she was married to. So let's get into that topic right now. The Skims founder, 42, and that madman, who's 45, will have joint custody with equal access to their 4 children, North, South, East, and West. Okay, I'm joking. North 9, St. 6, Chicago 4, and Psalm 3. Per court docs obtained by Page 6. However, sources close to Kardashian told TMZ that the matriarch will continue to have the kids 80% of the time, should be 95%, and the 5% should go to Keke with visitation, as West previously admitted in September. The settlement also notes that the gold digger rapper will have to pay his ex-wife $200,000 a month in child support, and I'm sure that's the coin that Erica Mena wanted from Safari, but his accounts ain't accounting, so you never gonna see that kind of coin. Now, they also said he is also responsible for 50% of the children's educational expenses, such as their tuition and security expenses. Now, if Kardashian and West ever have a dispute regarding any one of their 4 kids, they're required to attend mediation per the settlement. However, if either party fails to attend mediation, the participating party becomes the decision maker, which means that more than likely, Kim's going to be the decision maker because Kanye don't show up to nothing. Except he'll show up to the occasional sports game and the creative director Desma. Is that him? Oh yeah, it said I think they were this was a whole bunch of BS with him. But back to Miss Kim. So they both waive spousal support, which is actually great because they have their own money. But I don't know what Kanye going to do now because apparently he owes the IRS $50 million. So I don't know what he's going to do in regards to all that, and I think that's where the downward spiral began, because he admitted that when he did the interview with Milo Yiannopoulos and that Nazi lunatic, what was his name, Nick Fuentes. Sidebar: how are you Latino or have a Latin last name and you a damn Nazi? Make that make sense. Like, what is wrong with you people? But I digress. So he went and did an interview where he talked about that. Then he went on Alex Jones and started talking crap about how Hitler was this amazing person. I'm paraphrasing because I don't care enough to even go into what the man said. Y'all could Google schmoogle and look it all up and you'll see the tea is there. But this man is out of his fucking mind. And another thing I have to say about him, Keke, is the fact that, well, with all of this, I've noticed like they what was the company that Kuna's husband owned? That he was trying to buy, that social media service. Apparently, they parted ways with him. They don't want nothing to do with him. They're like, oh damn, it's funny. That's the line, Paula. That's the line that we draw. Oh no, you said Hitler's a good person. Oh no, we can't fuck with you down. And I find it hilarious. You got people on social media, oh, they took what he said out of context. Y'all saying about every goddamn thing that comes out of that man ashy ass, dry ass, cotton ass mouth. Y'all say that every time. And it comes a point where I have to look at y'all sideways and be like, you know what? Y'all the damn problem. Y'all continue to make excuses for this man. What context could anything be taken out of when you say out of your mouth that there were good qualities about a man who basically took a lot of the inspiration of what he did in regards to the Holocaust from Jim Crow and slavery? So this is the same N-word that said slavery was a choice. But you admire Hitler, who kind of did the same thing, if not worse, to the Jews that Jim Crow and them did to black people. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm tired of people blaming mental illness, bipolar disorder on the shit that's coming out of his mouth. Like, if you're a manic depressive type person, you're going to do impulsive things. Not channeling Uncle Ruckus. That's not an impulse. That's intentional. Or maybe you're doing this for attention because, you know, you're so bored with the music, you're bored with everything else. So now we gotta self-sabotage ourselves. I feel like we're watching a downward spiral in real time. And I would not be surprised because we've been losing a lot of celebrities in 2022. And I know I'm not wishing nothing on anybody, but it just seems like that's the next step. That we're gonna be reading his obituary. Courtesy of TMZ, because you know they love to drop an obituary and showing dead bodies and crime scenes on their damn website. You know they ain't got no damn coup. And what I don't understand is that they said that this is not the first time that Kanye has said things about Kanye. I keep forgetting. He ain't Kanye. He ain't Ye no more. He Kanye. A damn sellout of his own damn people. He don't care about y'all. So this is why I don't understand why the black community continues to, some of them, continue to make excuses for him. He don't care about y'all. Just like George Bush didn't care about black people according to him. He don't care about y'all either. You having dinner with Trump, Bilo, that heifer, Yiannopoulos, and a Nazi extremist, Nick Fuentes, and then Trump up there, I ain't know them people. I don't know what. I didn't know he was bringing them people. Now, you know damn well that's a damn lie. Secret Service, unfortunately, has to protect that idiot. Because that's part of the golden rule when it comes to people who've been president of the United damn States. They continue to get Secret Service watching over them for the rest of their damn life. So you have this going on, and then you have this man. So, oh, I didn't know. They have to brief you on who's coming up in there. Because at any time, it could be the killer walking up in there. So they constantly have to vet who's coming up in any of your circles. So miss me with the lies. Which, that's all that man do. So, I don't know I feel, you know what, at the end of the day, I feel really bad for the kids. Because it's like, you have, North is at the age where she's impressionable. Like, you could say anything to her. Or she's aware of a lot of what's going on. And to see her father behaving the way he's doing, how do you think that affects the kids? Especially she's got to go to school and she's got to worry about, and I'm sure like, oh, she's rich. That don't mean shit. Not when it comes to money or when it comes to being a human being. Let's be human beings for a second. This is a kid that has to go to a school, private school, with a bunch of other children and deal with whispers about her father being a goddamn idiot all over the TV. And people really need to stop giving him attention. But I noticed the only place that he goes to get this attention is like, you know, these right-wing shows. And Alex Jones, you need to be worrying about, you know, paying all that money that you owe for spreading lies and propaganda on your show. But then they trying to say he's filing for bankruptcy. I believe he probably pulled the Tasha Dan K and he got money hidden somewhere. You know he do. But anyway, I'm done talking about Kanye. Like, he's just an embarrassment. It's disgusting how this man is saying all these things. And I really feel like we really need to stop giving him a platform. I know I'm feeding it as well because I'm sitting here talking about it. So it kind of makes me a bit of a hypocrite. However, we need people with sense, I guess, to bring up and talk about these things in regards to him and the craziness and the stuff that he's saying. He's a messy dude. So I'm sure y'all haven't, but if you haven't, let me get you up to speed. So, you know, the ladies of Xscape, apparently they're going through it right now. So we had heard when they shot the Soul Train Awards, where they were the recipients of the hilarious. I forgot to mention, child. Did y'all see the foolishness with where he was on Alex Jones and he put, what was that, a fly swatter or a net? And he starts doing his voice. I'm like, I can't with him. I'm looking at it as like, what is happening? Like, am I in the twilight zone? Like, can y'all just, like, from now on, can y'all remove us from the group chat? Like, this is a group chat I did not ask nor I want to be a part of. It's like one of those things when you're on what is it? On one of those social media apps. When they got you on like a WhatsApp group chat or, you know, a Telegram group chat or one of those damn situations, and it's like, why are y'all spamming me in this crap? Let me swipe to the right and delete myself in this goddamn group, because that's what I feel like with this foolishness. But anyway, let's get back to the other topic with Xscape. So, you know, we didn't know there was some drama going on with Xscape, but I wasn't surprised when I heard it. So it all started when we saw the ladies on the red carpet of the Soul Train awards, where they were the recipient of the Lady of Soul Award. Sidebar, I actually miss the Lady of Soul Awards. I remember when it just used to be its own thing, but I guess female R&B singers aren't as prominent anymore, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's the thought process in regards of why we don't have a show specifically to celebrate women in music, particularly Black women. I miss when y'all did that, or maybe the ratings wasn't that great. I don't know what it is. But anyway, so, you know, there was a lot of drama going on with them because they were on the red carpet. The women all had on the similar solid color, except LaTocha Scott. She had on this green gown, which I have to say, she looked fabulous in it. I like what she had on. So then we started hearing little rumblings here and there, how she wasn't on tour with them, and this, that, and the third. And then we saw the Soul Train ladies, the Soul Train Awards last week, where the ladies performed. They sounded amazing. I saw the making of, how they were putting everything together on Candy's YouTube channel. She posted a whole video with showing the ladies behind the scenes and stuff. Oh, I love the Soul Train Awards. Soul Train Awards, I think it was on BET. I just watched a lot of it on YouTube, so that's what I know. I didn't watch it on, I didn't watch it on the actual channel. So then there was a lot going on with that. And then, they performed, they looked amazing, sounded amazing. Like, definitely the girls could sing the house down. That was one thing we can't take away from Xscape. And then, then came time to get the speech. And LaTocha got up there and said a speech. I don't know if we have the clip, but we did play it in the opening. How she was like, basically, bring each other, you don't have to tear each other down. You should lift each other up, and this, that, and the third. And then you had Tiny grab the mic and basically said what she said. I'll get to that in a minute, but let me read the article that I wrote, Jill. So 3/4 of the ladies of Xscape, Candy Burris, Tamika Scott, and Tamika Tiny Harris, sat down for an interview with radio station V103, and this is where they spilled all the tea about what was going on, what's been happening all over social media. Like, all the stuff that we've been hearing in the press and the 73rd, the ladies set the record straight. So the drama, basically, Candy basically said that she said that about the whole misinformation about the dress code. She said it gave the impression that we all purposely did something to her, and that's just not true. They didn't want us to see what she was wearing. So she's basically saying it's people behind the scenes that are causing this rift between all of them, which has been many a situation when it comes to girl groups. It's always the girl who they always peg is, you're the star, you're the lead singer. We hear this story so many times in so many episodes of Behind the Music and so many episodes of Unsung. That has always been the main reason. It was like you have people that's in your circle that's always chirping in your ear and trying to say, oh no, this one's the better singer. Oh, she trying to plot against you. What you gonna do? Even though none of this could be happening, but they play into your insecurities and they play into all of that other stuff because they want that infighting. They thinking they're gonna get something out of it. I get what, 20%? Like, what was you trying to get from trying to be messy? Like, I don't get that. So I believe LaTocha's always believed that she is the lead singer. She is the star. She tried it with the R&B thing. Nobody bought that. But now, word on the curb is she's trying to put out a gospel record. I believe the Jasmine brand on one of them damn websites revealed that team that she's working on a gospel record, which quiet as it's kept, and this is no shade of people in the gospel world. It don't take much to sell a good amount of records in gospel. Gospel has its niche market. There are people that are going to support that music. So it's not surprising that she would jump into gospel. Michelle Williams from Destiny Child is in gospel. And that's no shade of Michelle Williams. I like Michelle Williams, but let's call it what it is. Collectively, these women are great together. And they have to learn that. Y'all are in y'all 40s. Like, if you couldn't make it as solo artists back then, anybody trying to hear y'all go solo in your 40s. And that's no shade. Separately, nobody's going to check for y'all. They didn't check for y'all when y'all tried the solo thing before. I mentioned that already. So, and they said that it wasn't a big deal to them because she said they were trying to basically send the tail end of the outfit. They were trying to hide the dress. So they knew what they were trying to pull up, and then they would have been like, oh, she get in the elevator with y'all gotta go. So y'all got no choice but to put up with this outfit. And said that it wasn't really that big of a deal to them because when it came down to it, she wasn't, they didn't have a problem with the whole thing. They were saying like a lot of people on social media were the ones that were making a bigger deal than they were. Is basically what Tiny was alluding to. But basically here it sounded like y'all was upset. Tiny also addressed her speech at the show where viewers felt she was throwing shade at LaTocha by turning her back towards her while addressing the other ladies. Tiny also said she wasn't sure if LaTocha's speech was subliminal shade directed towards the group. Now, Tiny said that she said, honestly, I didn't mean anything by it. I was just looking at the mic, trying to talk to the mic. I was not excluding her. I saw it and said, damn, it do look a little crazy, but I had no ill will. And then there was, and now people are saying like, okay, but why is she siding with the other girls and not her sister LaTocha? Which we all know, Tamika's always been in the corner of her sister from the beginning. But I guess now that she older, she know the lesson. She know the tea. She's smart. She going where the money resides. Where the money resides, where the money resides. She not going nowhere else. Because it's like, okay, I'm over here with you, then what I'm going to do? Keep doing Tyler Perry plays? Or them plays that y'all love watching on the Chitlin circuit? Y'all know them plays. The Drake album was the top dance artist. Chill. Oh, so we do have a clip. Let's go to that clip and then, excuse me. We'll come back.
Just continue to shine your light for the world to see. And when you're shining your light, bring somebody up. Don't do it to dim their light. You know what I mean?
Shine bright like a diamond. And that was when Tiny went and said what she said. I was like, I love my girls. And basically just face there. I said, oh, was that shade? So apparently LaTocha and her sister Tamika are apparently fighting because they said that Tamika disrespected their mother. Tamika said that is not what happened. I don't know why she's saying that. Tamika also addressed that LaTocha is not participating in the Xscape tour because the promoter who's on the tour threatened LaTocha's husband Rocky, but the lady said that Rocky is the one who initiated the threats. There's also a story going around that Rocky allegedly knocked up another woman. Yes, pulled Kelvin Hunter and Sharina. Well, we get into them after this story. And wanted basically, but she said her shit was hacked. She said, oh, they had my social media. This didn't really happen. This, that, and the third. They haven't addressed it or nothing. But she up in here trying to say that she had a baby with him and she's pregnant. This, that, and the third. Oh, I'm not pregnant. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, I don't know what to believe. However, I'm like, I wouldn't put nothing past him. And number one, girl, you ain't that popping enough or that hot enough for somebody to hack your damn social media to post that. So I'm not buying the whole hacking thing. I don't believe when people say they were hacked. I don't know why, for some reason. I know well, don't get me wrong. There are some people that I know that have been hacked, that have had their pages hacked. But it's like, when you talk about these famous people, like, I don't know. Some of y'all just be in y'all feelings and want to get that instant attention on social media. So y'all just gonna say some shit to get people's attention. So yeah, LaTocha said the reason I'm not doing the tour is because the promoter and the girls on tour with threatened my husband's life. The promoter was initially brought to the table by my husband for a few shows. Two of the ladies had COVID on the show dates, so my sister and I performed alone at ATL, and the other show we had to pull out of. That's where the deal went left over a situation that could have been resolved. The promoter then referenced getting my husband's head touched and me being a widow. Would you have gone on tour with him? If that was any of their husbands, they definitely wouldn't have done the tour either, which I would have supported. Like I told them in management, I'm available for any dates that doesn't include that particular promoter. I choose family and loyalty over everything, and when my sister chose to disrespect our mother on a public platform, I literally couldn't stomach it, and we haven't spoke since. I'm trusting that God will restore and bring my family back together. This just hurts. So it's just a lot going on with them. It's just, it's a whole damn mess. And what I'm hoping is, and I guess it's easy to be like, LaTocha, you seem to be the main factor in a lot of this stuff. And that's why I also always say, stop hiring your significant others to be your manager. Because if you do, and continue to, when that time comes, when something foolish has happened, you're going to end up in the same boat as Wendy Williams and Kelvin Hunter. That's no shade, just saying. Just my observation. And we're going to see all this play out in the docuseries they have coming out with SWV. It was supposed to come out in November. I don't know why they pushed it to March, but apparently that is the date that it's coming out. First of all, I feel like it'll be too late for that to come out, and by that time, we done moved on to something else. People need to realize, these networks need to realize that when you're not moving fast enough in real time and trying to strike while the iron is hot, we done moved on to the next big thing. Y'all gonna have to come out with something extreme and crazy for us to be interested in wanting to watch this. I think it's supposed to be on Bravo too. But whatever. Let's move on, child. I'm over talking about. I mean, I love Xscape, but So let's talk about my girl, Wendy Williams. How you doing? So my girl Wendy. She's been keeping a low profile since she got back from the rehab. And, I've been rooting for her because she's like one of my favorite personalities. She's someone who, yes, I've looked up to when wanting to get into this industry and doing the whole podcast or to even do the whole personality thing. But, I love the fact that she was giving her flowers at the WBLS Circle of Sisters event that happened recently. But unfortunately, Wendy can't have a moment where she's just like, good stuff going on and this, that, and the other for her without the negative thorns in her ass, you know, making themselves be known, and basically just getting under our ass too. So let's start out talking about Wendy's brother, Tommy. So now he's calling out his sister and accusing her of abandoning their elderly father. Now in a new interview, Tommy accused the former daytime queen of abandoning their father, Thomas Williams Sr. In the article published by The Sun on Monday, November 28th, Tommy claimed Wendy hasn't been in communication the way we anticipated. Everybody's able to kind of shrug it off, but it's painful when it comes to her father. It's painful. Her father, ain't that your daddy too? He wistfully noted. I think it's necessary for her to see him and let him know what her status is, but she doesn't communicate with him. Now remember, it also said that she's not communicating with Lil Kev also. I have my theories on that, and I believe I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to bring it up after I finish the article. So the younger sibling said that of their father, he's 92 in February, and he's in great shape, but she's really missing out. He continued, it's more painful because this is the month of our mother's passing, which was November. And now she hasn't progressed with her relationship with her father. I can't understand it, before stressing, it's really Wendy's loss. We'll see what the holidays bring, Tommy told the outlet, seemingly hoping that Wendy could fix her broken bond with her family. If a sporadic trip to Florida pops up, fantastic, but I imagine that it won't, because if she's coming, the normal behavior is to communicate, to let someone know you're coming down for the holidays. He also said that he tries to bring the sister up in conversation with their father as it's become a painful subject, saying, I'm thinking about Wendy, and I know if I'm thinking about Wendy, he's thinking about Wendy too. I don't want to bring in any depression. When I ask if he's heard from her and he says no, I can see the pain in his eyes. So basically he kept saying, like, you know, he's gonna, you know, if this is the holidays, this is the point where I'm gonna be on the attack and lambasting her behavior, before reasoning, because the biggest gift my father could have is knowing his daughter is doing okay, or at least what the official status is of Wendy. So he's saying that he's frustrated because she's not being in contact with their father. And you want to know something? I kind of understand that, because, you know, when you're living on your own and you got a lot going on and you're living in your head a lot of times, I will say this, I will forget to call my parents when I should call them quite often. I did speak to my mother last week, but that was only because she called me to tell me some bad news about somebody that I had grown up with, or the parent of some kids I grew up with had passed away after complications of hip surgery. So, when that was the last time we spoke, and then we had a nice little key, but we had spoken not too long ago before that. But I do always try to remind myself that, you know what, I need to communicate, and I need to get out there and talk more and get in contact with my parents. But I realize what it probably is with Wendy Williams and her father. Maybe, and the same thing I think with her and little Kev. Maybe she's embarrassed. You know, isn't part of, you know, the 12-step program making amends? Like, that's one of the steps. I don't know what number it is, but maybe she's not there yet. She's trying to basically get her bearings. She just got out of rehab a couple of months ago, so she's trying to get herself together, trying to get her mind right. I know people trying to say when she was walking in her hotel, I saw that video footage of her, and she asked the paparazzi person, "Oh, can I grab your hand? Can you take your hand or whatever?" Like, she needed help. And they were trying to say and I don't think he did, which you're a dick for that. They were trying to say, oh, she's relapsed. She's back on the drugs and this, that, and the other. I don't believe that's what that was. Number one, I do not believe Wendy Williams is back on drugs. I believe what it was that it's the lymphedema. She says she only has 5% of feeling in her feet. And Wendy is very stubborn. I watched the Circle of Scissors event. She said, I refuse to sit in the wheelchair, and I refuse to walk around with a cane. So I'm not doing it. So that's where all that came from. So I believe that's what that was. I don't believe she was drunk. I do believe, like I said, I believe it was the lymphedema. That, you know, when she tries to do things independently on her own, and I get it. She's a woman of a certain age. And you know, people like what is Wendy? A Cancer. They're stubborn as hell. So you're not gonna get her. She's not gonna be out here in the cane. I mean, you can get you one of them J-Lo get right canes. Like, with the little cane. That could be you walking down the street. But anyway, so as far as like I said, with her father and everything, I feel like maybe she's embarrassed. Give her a moment to kind of get her bearings and stuff. Tommy, I don't feel like you're helping this situation. You out here putting your sister on blast every chance you get, talking to the press any chance you get. I don't know how much you got paid to talk in that following interview. Leave Wendy alone. Don't have me get Brittany on your ass. Leave Brittany alone. Leave Wendy alone. Let this lady recover and do what she needs to do to get herself together. Please and thank you. And I have to say, I don't know if I mentioned it, but at the Circle of Sisters event, she sounded pretty good. Like, I truly believe like she sounded really good when she was on the Circle of Sisters event. She had all thought like she wasn't 110%. Don't get me wrong, because she kept getting on my nerves when she would say podcast. Let's sound like a damn parrot. Kato says Wendy Williams is still recovering, but she is getting better. Her broke-ass ex-husband can kick rocks. Her spoiled entitled son will get karma. So, well, we're about to get into talking about, speaking of which, we're going to get into talking about Kelvin Hunter, messy ass, and what's going on with him. So let's get into that story. So shortly after news broke that Wendy Williams was immediately cut off from her $10 million annual salary after she stopped showing up to work in 2021, Kelvin Hunter, Wendy's no-good cheating ex-husband, is claiming that he cannot pay his bills, and faces possible foreclosure on his home after Wendy put the chop on the alimony payments. Now, the son obtained the explosive documents filed by Hunter, where he's claiming he has not received the monthly payments per their agreement in the divorce settlement. He alleges that the payments suddenly stopped on February of 2022. In the filings, Kelvin said he solely depends on the payments agreed to in the marriage settlement, saying, I have fallen behind on most of my bills. I currently live in a community that requires payments to the homeowners association, and I'm behind on that bill, yo. Remember how Wendy Williams used to always mock him? I remember that. Excuse me. What else is that? He said, if the homeowners association fees are not paid, foreclosure will soon follow. That's what he said in the pleading to the court about the home he shares with his mistress and they love child, Sharina and Journey. He said, my car insurance has been paid as a result of not receiving monthly severance payments. Why do I sound like a cross between, well, that's kind of like what Kelvin sound like, right? But why I sound like I'm doing Macho Man Randy Savage and Herschel Walker. That's why I feel like, anyway. Oh, yeah. I'm behind. He said, I'm behind on credit card payments because I have no money since the severance payments were suspended. My life, okay, I gotta stop doing that thing because that's gonna mess up my voice and I have to get polyp surgery. Okay, so my life has been greatly affected since the plaintiff stopped making payments under our settlement agreement. And that's what he added. Wendy's attorney is pushing back on the claim, stating that Williams, was 58, has not had a steady source of income from the Wendy Williams show since she stopped showing up for work in October of 2021, just 1 month into what would turn into an entire season of the show going on with a rotating roster of celebrity guest hosts. On October 15th of 2021, plaintiff was informed by Talk WW that her contract was being suspended and that no compensation shall accrue or be payable to plaintiff for the duration of plaintiff's disability and incapacity. That's what her attorney wrote. The former daytime talk show host attorney also went on to cite the divorce settlement agreement she and Hunter signed in January 2020. Now, here's the part where, like, he didn't have a rat's chance on hell of winning the Deborah Mercury case, where he was trying to say that they owe him money. He ain't getting this. Like, you really don't understand contracts. It's clear about that. Um, if for any reason plaintiff's contract with Talk WW is not renewed and or is otherwise suspended, canceled, or terminated, and plaintiff does not have any other television show being aired and paying her an equivalent salary, defendant understands and agrees that all severance payments shall be subject to either termination or modification, Wendy's attorney said in citing the ex's agreement. So that basically means, if for any reason, like they said, if it's not renewed or suspended, canceled, or terminated, and she doesn't have any other show being aired and paying her a salary similar to the $10 million she was getting a year through Fox and Denver Mercury, you agree that all severance payments shall be subject to either termination or modification, which means it would either be terminated or the amount of money you were getting would be modified to a small amount. I don't know how much percentage he was going to get, but he would have got something. And you know, he went on social media to clap back at all the people who was dragging him over the fact that he wanted, you know, money. He said, everybody want to know what's really going on. The fact is, I'm not being silent anymore. This don't have nothing to do with Wendy, but has everything to do with the people trying to steal hard-earned money that I worked hard for and helped build. I have a slew of experts to help substantiate all my claims, and I'm tired of the BS. I didn't forfeit as much as I did for my son to go through this. Miss me with the double standard-ish as well. In caps, is on with 4 exclamation points. And what are you talking about? What is your son going through? Because don't Wendy take care of little Kev? So what money are you talking about? What you talking about, Willis? So hello. And I'm so glad you used that picture. It's shady. But anyway, because he looked a mess up there. That's before, you know, he started going on the little keto diets and all that other foolishness that Sharina had him under. Look, Sharina gonna have to figure out what she gonna do. He need to figure out what he gonna do. Because this is what I don't understand. All that money that you made being Wendy's manager, the divorce settlement and all this other stuff that you were getting, where the hell did all that money go? It is going to show that, are you reckless? Like, are you reckless with your finances? Or you thought, oh, well, you know, Wendy Williams, you know, the $1 million wife that I had helped get to the place that she's at, mind you, you was doing a whole TJ Holmes throughout your whole marriage, which you was basically cheating throughout your entire 20 plus marriage that you was with Wendy. That sidebar, she knew about, especially Sharina. It was just the baby was the last draw. She was willing to put up with all the other stuff. But apparently, you can't embarrass her with a love child. That's where you overstepped your boundary. Knowing full on well, Wendy has struggled with fertility issues, which is how the first cheatation happened. She told us that. So, yeah, she gave you the money that she felt that you needed. But guess what? She's not working right now. She could barely get her hands on the money that Wells Fargo has tied up. So in the meantime, I think what you're going to have to do is figure out what you're going to do financially. What happened to the little, you know, the vegan pancakes Sharina was selling in a little Ziploc bag? Did that go belly up like all her other ideas? And wasn't Kelvin trying to work on other stuff too? Like, I don't understand. It's like, it just goes to show that you were nothing without your ex-wife. She gave you a job as her manager. Probably keep tabs on your ass. So you had not, like, it just goes to show after Wendy, you haven't been able to do anything to support yourself financially. You just expected that you cheated on Wendy, berated her a lot of times. I know T about these two and how there was a time they were in the elevator at AMC cussing and fighting amongst each other with little Kevin in the elevator with them. So them two used to go at it. Don't think like this was just like some little thing that just all of a sudden became a big thing. These two were toxic for a long time. So should I go as far as to say that we're witnessing karma happening now? Like, is this Kelvin's karma for the way he treated Wendy and, you know, and all that good stuff? Like, is this his karma on how he treated his ex-wife? I guess we'll never know. Or sound off in y'all thoughts. What y'all think about that? Just let me know in the comments. Good luck, Wendy. Focus on yourself. Focus on getting your mind, body, and spirit right. Don't pay Kelvin no mind with all this other foolishness. He and Sharita need to figure out how to go down to the welfare and get some benefits. That's what y'all need to do. And then on top of that, see if they got any little thing on the wall or whatever, any kind of job. But I guess, since he's been accustomed to this lifestyle, he's too prideful to go get a job and do what he needs to do to take care of his family. That's all. Okay, so let's take this little quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Jennifer Lopez and why is she getting so much hate. Because, she got the follow-up to This Is Me Then. Well, This Is Me Then was the third album. This Is Me Now is going to be the sequel of sorts. So we're going to break that down. Why is J-Lo getting so much hate? There was a thing that came out that she was going to be singing a cover of Whitney Houston hits at the Grammys. That started a whole uproar, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Will Smith. We moved on from Slapgate. People still having problems. I'm mad at him. They got, he has Emancipation coming out next week. I got my thoughts on that. Plus, we got notes on Dwayne Wade, Billy Porter. We're going to pay tribute to Britney Spears because her birthday was yesterday. And then we're going to break down this TJ Holmes, Amy Robach story because there's so many layers of this onion we got to peel back. So don't go away. Go refresh your drink. Grab a snack. I'm not going to say Whitney's line because she ain't using it. I hate it when she uses it on the show. So go refresh your drink. Get you a snack. Wipe your booty. Do what you need to do. Take a little bathroom break quickly. It's going to be less than 90 seconds. We'll be right back with more of The Rundown with your host, Chris Avalon. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Chris Avalon, and I just wanted to come online for a second to put you guys on to a new product that was sent to me from some friends of mine. So, I'm all about trying to help out and support and endorse small businesses if, it's on point. And, for me, a lot of people may not know this, but as a person of color, I've always had an issue trying to find really good hair products for someone such as myself. So then when a friend of mine came and approached me with these products, I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. Let me try it out and see what's good. And I have to say that when he sent it to me, I'm pretty much pleased with what's going on. So there's this business called Joa's Paradise, and they sent me a package of 4 different hair products. So the ones I did try this morning before I did this video, I did the pumpkin ginger spice. This is a product that I think a lot of people should try. It's definitely worth the money. It is affordable, and it's also, everything is pretty good for the hair. Like, there's no animal products and all that stuff in there. So that's what I love about it. So if you guys are interested in checking them out, definitely head over to shopjozparadise.com. That's JOOZ paradise.com. So definitely try that if you get a chance.
Damaged, dull, broken hair with no bounce or shine. Bring your hair back to life with Joa's Paradise hair care products. Joa's is fortified with all natural ingredients that will give you that growth, shine, body and fullness that your hair needs. Known to improve any type of hair in any style and bring it back to life. Joe Oz Paradise will never let you down. Joe Oz Paradise, our products were made to deliver.
We're back. Oh my God, I had to stretch out my knee. I'm like, girl, what is going on? But anyway, welcome back to the show. How y'all doing? Yeah, let's get into some things. Thank you all for tuning in. Also, like I said before, be sure to click like, subscribe, all that good stuff. He gonna put it back eventually. Like my honey Davenport top. Remember she gave me this. It's cute or whatever. But anyway. Let's get into this show. So yeah, follow the Chris Avalon, all that good stuff at the bottom. But yes. Hey girl. Okay, let me stop to myself. I just want to show you all the shirt. Okay. Anyway, so let's get into this Jennifer Lopez story. So anytime the words J-Lo and singing are equated into the conversation, there's always those naysayers who become quite critical of her vocal capabilities. Now, while she has gotten significantly better with her singing over the years, thanks to working with vocal coach Steve Mackey, by the way, music fans were not having it when a tweet surfaced earlier this week claiming that J-Lo told Time Magazine that she would be covering some Whitney Houston classics at the 2023 Grammys. Now, here's what the tweet said. It said, J-Lo just revealed with Time that she is doing a Whitney Houston tribute at the Grammys next year. J-Lo said, I feel that Whitney's songs fit my vocal range very well. I'm going to sing I Have Nothing and I Will Always Love You. Child, we should have known damn well. That line when it said, I feel that Whitney's songs fit my vocal range very well, that Maury done determined that was a lie. The tweet has ignited quite the debate all over social medias, all on my social media. Shit, I can't even talk today. Now, I was going to say, the tweet has definitely ignited quite the debate on all my social medias. So I went to my horn, but y'all definitely need to be following me on my social medias because that's where y'all get all the tea, especially on my Facebook, the comments or stuff that people be putting in there about stuff. Y'all be having me cackling. But nevertheless, it's gotten to the point where it was so bad, this tweet, and sparked such a huge debate that J-Lo's rep had to step in and clear the air. Now, here's what her rep said, Lauren Schwartz. There's no truth to this rumor, and that interview did not happen. Then they also, this is what her spokesperson said before sharing that the actor-singer's team is looking into the origin of the audio clip, but either way, it's not related to any Grammy performance. The Associated Press performed an independent fact check on the tweet and found the story not to be true. Also, I should point out this morning, I woke up and I found the tweet that I posted about it, the one that I read. It got flagged by the independent fact checkers not to be true. And I'm like, oh Lord, I know it's not true, but these friggin' algorithms. So look, now we know it's not true that Jennifer Lopez is going to be singing Whitney tributes. But I'm also not surprised that people would think this was true, especially after what happened, what was it, 2019? Where she performed the Motown tribute. Remember that? People were pissed off about that. They were like, how y'all got Jennifer Lopez of all people? Y'all couldn't pick any of these black girls that's out here, like a Fantasia, a Jennifer Hudson, as some people I know call her Screaming for Hudson. But I found like she does scream a lot. You couldn't pick like JoJo to be like the Tina Marie. Or you couldn't have picked like a Brandy and a Monica, an A. Marie, girls of color. Y'all want to pick Jennifer Lopez? So yeah, I don't understand I was going to say, I don't understand the hate about Jennifer Lopez, but I do understand the hate. I think a lot of it, because I read the comments, obviously. A lot of people said that they feel that they don't like Jennifer Lopez as a singer because of how she came up in the music business. Which a lot of times the other vocalists who were stronger vocally were left on the track particularly Ashanti. And then on Play, you hear basically Christina Milian all over the chorus. So people have a problem with that. They feel like she be stealing people's vocals, like she's Ariel in the Little Mermaid and Ursula, the Sea Witch. Remember she got her voice taken? That she wanted to be human? So a lot of people feel that is one of the reasons. And then I don't know if the audio clip that they're talking about was the one that we played where it was like she was in the studio and she was singing a Donna Summer track, and she, sounded extremely flat, and that audio apparently leaked. It was a little joke that I was throwing around. I know other people were throwing the joke around too, but it's not a real. It is Jennifer Lopez singing, but it's a bad take. A lot of singers have bad takes, and I have to give J-Lo her credit. Jennifer Lopez, yes, she was not the best singer in the world. There's a lot of women that aren't the best singers in the world. Madonna isn't the best singer in the world, and she's admitted that. She said, I'm not the best. I know I'm not the best singer on the planet, but I have something to say. And you can't say that she hasn't worked on her craft, because she has. When she had to, Madonna really started taking the voice lessons after, like, when she had to go do a V. Really express the power in her voice. Jennifer Lopez too. Jennifer definitely has worked on her vocals. She's come a long way to prove that she's a singer. And I think a lot of times in her career, she's always felt that people have been negative towards her in regards of her singing. So she's been vehemently insecure. That's probably one of the reasons why she didn't tour until later on in her career instead of in the beginning. She would do the occasional special that would be recorded and put on a VHS that you'd have to buy. Yeah, I'm taking it back 20-some years ago. They would do little specials. You have to go to Best Buy, one of them stores, and buy like the cassette or the DVD of her concert special. I think the one she did in Miami or was in Puerto Rico, was one of those places. So she was always subjected to doing specials. She didn't really like perform a concert, which I would have liked if she would have. There's so many other girls who sound worse than Jennifer Lopez that be out here full on touring. So she's definitely worked on her craft as a pop star. But I think a lot of times these girls, they get so delusional that they don't stay in their lane. And that's the worst part about it. It's like, oh yeah, I can do that rendition of Whitney and Mariah. Who Mariah can't stand her. Y'all know the history. You know why. Tommy Mottola, who also tried to ruin Michael Jackson's career with them child molestation allegations. Because, Michael was out here buying up everybody's musical catalog. So apparently we managed to get the audio clip of Jennifer Lopez rehearsing for the Grammys. Roll the clip.
I'd always dream. No! Whoa, I'm sorry everybody. That hurt me too. I'd always dream that fine. Sorry. That sounded so fucking crazy. I'd always dream that fine.
Look at us being messy. Okay, all jokes aside, look, Jennifer Lopez is an amazing entertainer. I don't go to see Jennifer Lopez trying to sing like she's, Patti LaBelle or somebody. And I really hate the fact that people always try to equate like music as one big thing. It's like, no, everybody has their genres. We have our entertainers and we have our singers. And Jennifer Lopez is an entertainer, just like Madonna is an entertainer. Janet Jackson is an entertainer. Britney Spears is an entertainer. Sidebar, I'm living for Madonna. Like, did you see that she had her 30th anniversary sex thing with the book and all that stuff, which I'm mad I never was able to get a copy of it because, I was way too young to have the book. But anyway, so yeah, she, and the kids look good. Like, she had her oldest children there. The little ones couldn't be there. They're too young. Mercy and the other two. David. Oh, wait, she has 4 other children. The adopted ones. I don't know. I'm right? Yeah, 4. And then the 2 that she has, Rocco and Lourdes, they're old enough so they could have went. They're in their 20s. So they could go to the event. And I have to say, Rocco has definitely become quite the charming, good-looking man. He's 22 years old, but he's a man. But I'm like, oh, he's good-looking. How you doing? He definitely, you can see he's got his father's features. But anyway, back to J-Lo and Whitney. The only bow I'm trying not to be, we throw a little shade in, but let's talk real. Yes, Jennifer Lopez is not the best singer. She has worked on her craft. So I applaud her for basically, taking it seriously as a musician. She definitely wants to prove that she is an artist. And, she has the This Is Me Now album coming out that she just promoted on, what was it? Zane Lowe did a great interview with her. You can check that out on my website. I posted it there. But she gets a lot of hate for her music and stuff. I don't mind it. I'm entertained by her. I loved all the spectacle and the razzle dazzle and this, that, and the third. And I'm gonna listen to this album, but it was a bunch of damn ballads, girl. I'm gonna have to be like, girl, what are you doing? But she in love with this man. Ben, enough for her. They're back together being Bennifer again. So, if she were to do a Whitney Houston song, I think she could do a Whitney Houston song. But hear me out before y'all try to throw the tomatoes. Hold the tomatoes, goddammit. So, I think if she sings it in her key and makes it her own, you could sing a Whitney Houston track. Whitney Houston sang Dolly Parton's "I Will Always Love You" made it a huge hit. Her version and Dolly's version, completely different versions of the same song. So that's why I keep saying it's like this generation and even my generation had a habit of we come from the era of American Idol, which she was on, by the way. So there has to be this, let's do a karaoke rendition of what we've already heard. No, make the song your own. That is why songs always thrive when you do a remake or a cover or whatever the case is. A cover. Make the song your own. Don't sing it literally like how they sing it. When you sing it, if you're going to try to sing like Whitney Houston, you're going to disappoint yourself. You're going to come out here looking like a fool. And Jennifer Lopez ain't no fool. So I know she's not going to do all of that. But yeah. So shout out to her. She's not doing the thing. We could all move on. Nothing to see here. But yeah, sound off in the comments. Let me know. What do you think J-Lo gets so much shade from, the media? Well, not even the media. Like a lot of people online. Well, I guess it is media, social media. She gets so much shade, so many tomatoes thrown at her when it comes to the music. But I thoroughly enjoy it. She has some bops, besides the one y'all know. All right, so let's talk about Will Smith. Wait, let's see. We're doing this in... Oh, yeah. We're definitely on it. Okay, so Will Smith has been on his little tour promoting emancipation. He appeared on Trevor Noah, which I watched the interview. The interview was actually pretty good. I like Trevor Noah's style of interviewing. I'm actually going to miss him on the Daily Show. I kind of wish he would stay. But I guess he got comfortable and he's ready to move on and do different things. So Will Smith opened up about the now infamous moment at the Oscars where he walked on stage and slapped the life out of Chris Rock after the comedian made a joke about his wife. By candidly discussing how he failed as a human being, Smith is hoping to protect his upcoming film Emancipation from being overshadowed by the viral assault. The actor received a hand in that department from The Daily Show's Trevor Noah, who actually made Smith cry by being so gracious. Saying there are many nuances and complexities to it, but at the end of the day, I lost it, He says, a lot in the damn interview, by the way. He confessed to Noah. He says, I guess what I would say, you just never know what someone's going through. Now, as Smith expanded on his personal journey, he's been on since slapping Rock on stage. Noah shared that he pushed back on a friend who called him and said that what everyone saw that night was the real Will Smith. And what Noah says, he said that things were becoming relentlessly ishy, as in S-H-I-T-T-Y, and Smith reacted for the first time. He says it was a lot of things. It was a little boy that watched his father beat up his mother, is that, all of that just bubbled up in that moment. I just That's not who I want to be. And you know what? I'm glad, Will's went on his little apology tour. I hope we can move on from this. People still want to crucify and punish him over an incident which it shouldn't have gone to that level. It shouldn't have gotten to that point. Yes, it's wrong. I'm not condoning that you should put your hands on someone. Chris Rock is an insult comic, I guess. Is that what we could call him? Because he does throw shade. He's notorious for shading people at award shows. That's what we lived for back in the day. And it seems like to me, Chris Rock is stuck in this world of, of that type of comedy. But it seems like the rest of the world has moved on from it. They don't want to partake in that kind of comedy anymore. The comedy landscape has shifted, I guess. So I think Will was nervous. He was dealing with a lot of stuff. And yeah, he was the type that was like, you know what? I sat and I watched as my father beat my mother and I felt helpless. And he wanted to be the knight in shining armor to save the damsel in distress, but he did it at the wrong time. And these things happen. We're humans. Every day when we wake up is a day to correct the mistake we did the night before and show up and should ask for it in people instead of being so quick to cancel them, especially over a slap. But some of y'all out here will make excuses and still have made excuses and continue to make excuses for R. Kelly, for Bill Cosby, and most recently Kanye. He could do no wrong in your eyes. Everything is taken out of context. But y'all want Will Smith head on the pipe over a smack. Which I would say he ain't hurt nobody. Well, technically he did. He smacked Chris Rock, so that is hurting someone. But we have to learn from our mistakes. He's atoned for his sins. He's apologized numerous times. He resigned from the Academy. He's been banned from the Academy of I guess, for the next decade. So what more do you want? At what point do we just move on and not be so fixated on let's continue to punish somebody? I want to see you really suffer. I want to see blood ooze out of your head. That's how bad I want. Why would you where's the line? Let me know. So for me, I moved on from this whole thing. I can look past it. I like Will Smith. I'm a fan. This is a rare time that we've seen him step out of pocket. Because let's be real, Black people, particularly in entertainment, have always had to be twice as better. We can't be misbehave. We can't step out of pocket. White people, y'all can do all that shit. And, unless it's extreme, unless you go kind of Mel Gibson. Once you get Mel Gibson extreme, that's when Hollywood has slowly invited him back to the seat of the table. They're putting him in things, I've noticed. He's going to be in the John Wick show, The Continental. So unless you go to some extreme level, they don't want to mess with you. Black people always have to put on this mask of we have to be perfect all the time. We have to be the jokesters. We always have to be, Kim, you can't step out of line. You can't be negative. You can't, do all those things. Especially if you're trying to be part of the A-list, be a superstar at the level of a Tom Cruise. There's a certain way you have to carry yourself. So one time he steps out of pocket, he's saying, I wish I wasn't human. You are human. That's what makes you you. It just goes to show that, you know what? There is a part of Will that's not some damn robot, or allegedly he was corrupted by Scientology. Remember when they said he was going to be a part of Scientology at one point? So, good luck, Will. I'm looking forward to seeing Emancipation, and I will say this. At first, I was not going to see it because I'm I'm so sick and tired of these Black trauma movies. The slave pictures. I'm over it. I remember telling a friend of mine yesterday, he was like, well, what made you change your mind? And I was like, I learned what this movie was about. It was about, I forget the guy's names. And he had the whipping marks on his back. And I remember when I was younger, I saw that picture. And when they showed it in the interview, I was like, oh my God, I remember seeing that photo. And that photo was very captivating. So to see someone liberate themselves and how they're going to interject Juneteenth, people need to know the history of Juneteenth because it was around the time when they, that's the day of the Black independence because, when Independence Day was supposed to be when the slaves were free, this, that, and the third, there were parts of the United States where slaves didn't even know that this whole thing was going on. And how at the time where there were black people who were so in that world of slavery that they were so conditioned and broken down into what they know, they didn't want to leave their masters immediately after finding out, oh yeah, y'all are free, you've been emancipated. There were black people that did not want to leave their plantations because they were so broken down by them, them slave traders, the massa and all of them. Read a history book. So I definitely want to see that. And, I love Antoine Fuqua. The movie looks visually stunning. So that's the only reason why I'm watching it. But if it was a movie where it was just like all about the whippings and this, that, and the third, that's like kind of like when Whoopi was explaining about Till. She was like, y'all don't need to be afraid of Till. We're not going to show you the graphics of the violence of what happened because y'all know what happened. What you need to understand is what these other people have gone through and the family and how it affected all these people. And so that to me is more important than having to see, oh yeah, well now we got to incorporate a scene of seeing black people being beaten, black people being killed, black people being maimed. Things happen, like I'm tired of seeing stuff like that. So I don't need that trauma in my life. So if this movie is going to tell a different story about slavery and history and stuff, then I'm here for it. So shout out to you, Will. Good luck to you. And I'm looking forward to seeing Emancipation when it comes out next week. I believe that is the 9th of December. Now, before I get into this Zaya Wade story, we were supposed to talk about August Alsina. So, speaking of emancipation, entanglements, and the Jada Pinkett Smiths and Wills Smiths, August Alsina, I don't know if y'all heard, came out as bisexual. I know people were trying to equate him as being gay, but I don't think he said he was gay. I believe he said that he found love in a hopeless place. The person sat next to him, and it was a guy. Some people were saying that was his brother. It wasn't his brother. That was somebody that he's hunching. And trust to believe, with all his internal issues with his stomach, ain't no way in hell August is a bottom. He's giving top T's. Because if you got all kinds of issues going on in your gut, ain't no way in hell you're going to be taking a douche, the Saturday night douche kit, and sticking up your ass and squeezing and cleaning out the water. So that way y'all could, you could throw your legs up to Jesus in a moment of ecstasy. But, okay. I don't know where that came from. But anyway. So, August came and basically just said, this is me. Just take me as I am. Like it or not, it is what it is. So, like I said, I don't believe that guy that sat next to him was August's brother. I believe that it's somebody that he was seeing. And I believe that August is someone who's probably, I know people try to put things on people, but maybe he's pansexual or fluid. Where it's like he falls in love with the person. And if somebody's been there for you in this and I know a lot of people say, so what does that mean? That his relationship with Jada wasn't real? Because we heard stories about Jada. Some of which is true. You mean the same-sex stuff, allegedly? So, I believe that they had a real relationship, that there was an entanglement between he and Jada. I don't know why people think that would be fake. It's basically giving by erasure. Like, bisexual people actually don't exist. If someone tells us they like girls and they like guys, then should we take them on that word? Like, you can like both. It's not that hard to comprehend. So I don't understand why people think like it's impossible to even wrap your brain around the fact that a guy could be in love with a girl. So, shout out to August. I'm glad you're finally living your truth. You don't need to put a label on it. A lot of these, still certain generations, they always want you to like break down things so that way we know, oh, this is what it is, and you need, and oh, it's either this, or it needs to be easily identifiable. Sexuality, gender identity, all that is complex. You can't just put things in a little box and expect that to just be enough. So, shout out to you, August. Continue to live your truth, and I'll definitely be following this story as it develops. So, I also want to give a shout out to Dwayne Wade, who was going through it with his ex-wife, Siobhan Funches. and saying that he's not here for his ex-wife and her transphobia against their child Zaya. Now, the retired NBA player advocated for Zaya's right to live more comfortably and honestly in all aspects of her life in documents obtained by Page 6. The petition is about allowing Zaya to take on the milestones of being a young adult with confidence and joy. The athlete, who's 40, explained how the legal documents would act in the teenager's best interest in many areas of her life, from simple introductions and food orders to applying for a driver's license and filling out college applications. The filing concluded, while it certainly would have been preferable for Zaya's mother to be supportive of this important part of Zaya's journey, Zaya should not be forced to put her life on hold while she waits for Siobhan to acknowledge and accept the truth. Funches accused Wade in court documents earlier this month of pressuring their child to move forward with a name and gender change in order to capitalize on financial opportunities. The counsel, who used her daughter's dead name in the filing, requested Zaya make the changes herself when she is at the age of majority. Wade clapped back at his former partner, who he divorced in 2010, on Instagram, saying, "I'm very disappointed that she continuously finds ways to center herself and her needs without regards to her children," the ex-Miami Heat player wrote in a lengthy social media statement. He also called on an absent parent who allegedly don't reach out to Zaya's teachers, doctors, and therapists, she has since denied, telling Page 6 the derogatory claims are completely untrue and very hurtful. Well, I have this to say about it. To me, it feels like, oh, okay, so that's August's boyfriend, Zoo. I'm in the middle. Oh, okay. I forgot what his name was, but thank you for putting that in there. Okay, so this whole thing with Zaya, it's unfortunate that I wish this could have just been handled in a way where the courts don't have to get involved. Well, the courts don't have to get involved for her to change her name, but now it's become this whole other thing. It's ridiculous and it's sad that she's going through this. Zaya's just at an age where she knows who she is. She's known for a very long time that she's a transgender girl. Her parents, as in Dwayne and her stepmother, Gabrielle Union, are showing the support of a child who definitely needs it, especially because I said this when I was talking about it. And, people were sitting there talking about, well, she's changing her name, but you can't turn things back and that stuff once it's done. And I'm like, it's a name change. You can always change the name, child. It just costs some money and some court documents. Some documents. Fill out some paperwork. Throw up some money, because I don't know how much it costs to change your name, but I know you got to have some coins to do it. I'm sick and tired of people always equating transitioning with genital reassignment surgery. Genital reassignment surgery is a last resort. It's also, you have to go and see a therapist for 2 years. It's a whole process you have to go through. If you need to know the whole process, y'all need to watch I Am Jazz. Jazz Jennings broke all of that down on her show. I don't know if the show's still on, but I remember there was a season where the doctor told her if she's gonna get gender reassignment, she has to get in shape and lose a certain amount of weight, so that way they can be able to do the surgery they need to do. But the surgery is not what we're talking about. Zaya wants to change her name legally to Zaya. She is not Zion. She doesn't see herself as male. Because there have been many a times I've been around with trans friends and they go into certain places and it's like, your ID has this gender on it and your dead name. And when she wants to go into food places, because there have been times they don't ask you a name. I remember when I worked at a food place, sometimes they would see the ID and I remember coworkers would tell me, oh, I'm just going to write the name that's on the ID. Don't even ask the person, okay, so what name would you like me to put down? Which I know some people do that. But there are some cashiers who don't. Like I said, they grab the card and they write what's on there. Now, if you write her dead name on there, she ain't going to answer you. So it's all about that whole respectability thing and how trans people will have a difficult time with trying to navigate and move within the world in which they live in, which predominantly is not filled with trans people. and they're trying to honor their child's respect. When she's of age, I'm sure they'll worry about all the extra stuff. Right now, she just wants to change her name. So Siobhan, either get on board or move to the side. Because to me, I always said this, like Wendy Williams even brought this to, back in the day when she say this, and I'm like, you know what, you go on to something. It's very rare if a woman does not have full custody of her kids, if the custody is with the father, something got to be going on with you that he has custody of all your kids. And it ain't got nothing to do with the fact that he's Dwayne Wade and he's worth this amount of millions of dollars. There got to be something that was going on in their relationship that he was given full custody. So, good luck to y'all. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on this story as it develops because, Zaya has definitely become a symbol for, the LGBTQ community, especially trans community and young trans children of color, because I'm sure there's a lot of them out there, but seeing this young girl who's so self-assured and knows who she is, being able to say, being able to be so self-assured of herself, I think that gives confidence to other children who are in her situation to kind of look at her as a role model and be like, you know what? She's aspiring. I'm going to kind of follow her footsteps, hopefully not dealing with the crap that she's dealing with her parents, but the way she's carrying herself in this crazy ass world. Because we know it's a dangerous world for trans people. Seems like anybody who is a white male. So speaking of trailblazers, because, I do consider Zaya Wade to be a trailblazer, I want to give a huge congratulations to Billy Porter, who after 3 decades in the game is finally getting his flowers. So shout out to the Daily Mail for the tea. But the 53-year-old actor, who got his start on Broadway before making a splash in Hollywood, was decked out in a luxurious white frock. Now, during the ceremony, he stretched himself along the red carpet surrounding the star in a pose reminiscent of a 1950s pinup. His outfit from the daytime event was a finely pleated white frock that featured raised, puffed-out shoulders and a turtleneck. Accessorizing with a sleek silver clutch and complemented his salt and pepper beard, he lent that look a dash of glitz with several rings. Now, Billy received the warm speech from his manager, Billy Butler, who has worked with him for upwards to 3 decades. Now, Bill fought back tears as a butler, as he revealed that it said that Bill fought back tears after he revealed that while his mother was dying in hospice, she requested that Billy's song Love Is On The Way be played at her funeral. I'm so thrilled for my dear friend and client who is so deserving of this honor and all this love that surrounds him, said Bill, as seen in the Variety live stream. After Bill wrapped up his heartfelt remarks, Billy sidled over to the lectern with 2 men warmly shared a platonic kiss, as in his husband. Billy also received a glowing tribute from his sister, Mary Martha Ford, who gushed, Billy, you have worked tirelessly to get to where you are, and you are deserving of every good thing that comes your way, all of it. She added, you aren't too big, you aren't too grand, you're not too much. Your gifts have made room for you and have brought you before great people. Martha continued, Grandma would tell you, lots of people are willing, but everybody ain't able. This is not a mistake. This is what the Creator has ordained. Now, Billy finally took the stage and recalled, I've heard a lot of things in my life. You're too black, too gay, you're too loud, too extra, too flamboyant. Homosexuality is an abomination. You are an abomination. You will never be blessed. He earned a round of applause as he proudly declared, well, we know that's a lie, and that theory no longer has any credibility, bitches. Billy remembered being told, try to be quieter, try fitting in, butch it up, dim your lights, stop making everybody feel so uncomfortable around you. I tried to do all of those things. I really tried hard, but thank God I couldn't. He also shared, I'm grateful for my allies. I'm far more grateful for my haters. I'm grateful for my successes and far more grateful for my perceived failures. And, he did win he did get the star on December 1st, which is World AIDS Day, by the way. So the Tony Award winner added, as and in honor of this World AIDS Day, I'm grateful to stand in front of the world as an out loud and proud representation of what being Black, queer, and HIV positive looks like in 2022. And so I have to say congratulations to Billy Porter. This is definitely something well deserved. I've been following Billy Porter for eons, long before he hit it big. I was aware of him. Like, there'd be times I've gone out to certain clubs and I would see him and his husband out and about, you know, in the same circles and establishments. I remember back when he dated singer Ari Goldman. He rest in peace. So Billy's been around for a long time. Like, I remember the first time I saw Billy Porter was in the Broken Hearts Club with Andrew Keenan and Dean Cain and Timothy Olyphant. It was a good gay movie. I lived for it. It was it was very The Boys in the Band, but for my generation. It was like the 2000s. Yeah. So yes, definitely an award well deserved, and shout out to you, child. And speaking of which, shout out to Britney Spears, where yesterday was her 41st birthday. She's looking good, but I need her to stop doing them stupid dances where she's always twirling with the dry weave. No shade, just saying. But you know, I live for Britney, but sometimes she be looking a little cray-cray in them dance videos. So yeah, so shout out to Britney. I know she also posted something heartfelt about her sister Jamie Lynn. Is she trying to make amends? Out of curiosity, I am wondering if she's trying to make amends with her sister. I don't know. I saw something or another. I didn't read exactly what it was, but I saw that she posted something up about her her sister or whatever. I know she's going through. I also heard that she was trying to patch things up with her sons, that she was going to stop posting news. But then I saw the picture the other day of her in the damn bathtub naked. So that was short-lived. But shout out to you, Britney, and happy 41st birthday. And may you have 41 more. All right. Please hold, because I'm going to need a shot. Especially since I'm about to talk about TJ Holmes and Amy Robach and all that mess. Ooh. You know, I know we're supposed to end in 10 minutes, but we may have to go a little over with this one. Normally I don't chase, but today I feel like chasing. Okay, so we got some clips that we're gonna play, and then I'm gonna just go into it. Hopefully it gives y'all enough of the tea of what's going on. If not, I will break it down for y'all, because you know it's a lot. Roll these clips, child, and then we're gonna get into it.
Coach will serve as the interim coach for this upcoming season. And Stray, you just said while that piece was rolling, just last week the NBA suspended the Phoenix Suns owner after an investigation into conduct in the workplace. Suspended for a year, $10 million fine. This coming after that. Now, this is not what the NBA wants. Headlines like this, they're just about 3 weeks away from the start of the new season.
Yeah. Surprising, being named just in the finals, 2 wins away, like you said, from the championship.
He's getting great and high marks for a new coach. Finally got his head coaching opportunity, and now this. We don't know if he'll ever coach the Celtics again. They still could make a decision about his future down the road.
Got long distance running. They think they've got to go full speed, and then they tire out. And once you lose your breath, you cannot catch it. Right?
Well, it's looking at me.
You've been training. You've been training
with you, and I run behind you, and you keep the pace. I don't have to worry about these things.
Right. So if you are the pacer,
yes,
you do have to worry about these things.
You're the pacer. Does that make me the pacey? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you're the pacey.
Okay. So yeah.
But we're gonna both be finishers, and that's what counts.
God, you are one cheesy.
Are you, Wendy, of sound mind?
Absolutely. Are you?
I am.
I forgot he did that. I totally forgot that he did that interview with Wendy Williams. But yeah, this whole thing is a mess. So y'all saw the paparazzi had the picture of him and Amy off somewhere. He's smacking her on the butt. It's a whole damn mess. But this whole situation happened. Okay. So earlier this week, and I have to say, I didn't know my damn group chat that I have with DJ, the former producer of my radio show, and EJ, the producer of this show. Our group chat turned into TMZ, child. Like I had I'm working, and all of a sudden I look at my phone, I've got like 15 messages in a row. I'm like, God damn, what is going on? This mess right here, foolishness with them. So what had happened was earlier this week, the tea get spilled out of the jar that TJ Holmes and Amy Robach from GMA3, Good Morning America, the third hour, were secretly hunching each other for months. But if you ask anybody else, like Robin Roberts and so many others, they've been hunching for years. It just came out recently and said that she had split from her current husband, Andrew Shue, the actor best known from Melrose Place. He's been other stuff. I know his sister more, Elizabeth Shue. She, I remember seeing her a lot of stuff coming up. She was on Cobra Kai. I don't know if she was on this recent season because I haven't watched that yet. Forgive me for that. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Andrew Shue is married to Amy, and I remember they were on The View not too long ago. They were promoting some marathon thing that I guess they were doing with him and his wife, TJ. I think that's the race they was alluding to. And I put two and two together, but I've heard people say over the years that there were kind of rumors and stuff, rummaging and second and third. I personally didn't care enough because I don't find any of these two interesting or appealing. However, this is messy, and so we got to talk about it. Because now we find out about them, because anchor schmankers, like we don't really know much about their personal life and stuff. They're never really that interesting. But this is too damn juicy and messy boots. Grown folk doing childish things. So the word on the curb was, while we heard about this, they said that this is like they've been split from their prior relationship since August. But earlier, like this whole week, until the news broke, TJ had his wedding ring on, keeping up appearances. Andrew Shue done scrubbed any inclination of his ex-wife, soon to be, from his social medias. Like, you go on his Instagram, you ain't gonna see no pictures. But since it was reported earlier this week that they were secretly canoodling with each other while married to other people, well, apparently Amy's bed isn't the only place TJ's boots have been under. Now, according to reports, TJ was having a 3-year affair with a Good Morning America producer by the name of LaTocha Scott back in 2016, with the cheating duo going as far as confiding in Robach about their infidelity. Now, according to Page 6, Amy was the person they went to talk about their affair and marriages, an insider claims. Another source disputed that Robach was their confidant and insisted she didn't know about the affair until it was in its final stages. They told her about it right at the end. Their affair started off long distance with Holmes based in New York, and Singh was working as a producer for the show in Los Angeles. Holmes was just a GMA correspondent at the time, and they were told that they'd meet up for romps during his travels. Now, Singh was also a yoga teacher and mediator, left the show in 2018 and moved to New York, where she started working as a producer for CBS Mornings. That's when she and Holmes started spending even more time together. She fell in love with him. He had a key to her apartment, another insider told us. Singh told us no comment when we reached out, meaning Page 6. Now, Holmes' wife, Marilee Feibig, I don't know how to say her last name. If I butchered it, my apologies, found out about their affair in 2019 after discovering several emails, we're told. As the rumors swirled about Holmes and Robach, Marilee never considered Amy because she was focused on Natasha. She never thought about him cheating with Amy because they were friends. Amy's daughter was their daughter's babysitter. Child. You had Amy's daughter babysit your daughter, knowing full on well you was punching her damn daughter, being the mother. Holmes ended their affair, and the couple started working to reconcile their marriage through the pandemic. Now, this is what I said about that. So, it's clear that TJ Holmes had no love for his wife, cheated on her throughout their entire marriage. I believe this is his second wife. Same thing with Amy, second husband. Word on the curb is she a serial cheater too. She cheated on the first husband with Andrew Shue. Oh, what is going on today? I'm rhyming. I'm a poet and I know it. So yeah, so you got two serial cheaters coming together and sleeping with each other. Match made in heaven. Don't get married though, because y'all gonna wind up cheating on each other. But I find it crazy how it's like TJ was in a relationship with a producer. He was playing bed hopscotch while he was out there. So while he was passing through, he was passing through her. And then when she moved to New York because she took a job at CBS, them two started having sex even more. His current wife found out. She still stayed with him. And I think that's where, with this whole thing, with us hearing about this and the producer and the wife and his current wife and his wife finding out about it, that makes more sense to that Instagram post that he put up where he talked about how I'm paraphrasing, how he gave Marilee so many opportunities to leave him. And she decided to stand by him, which to me made it sound like, oh, for better or for worse, I'm going to stand by my man. No, sis, you a fool. And I'm sorry, staying with a man for the sake of out of loyalty, that's a fool's game. I don't know how, like, at what point is your breaking point? Is this it? Because the embarrassment that you have now because it's public knowledge? 10 years you put up with this man sleeping with multiple women. You was okay with it. And she put up with this fool just from this man and his community did. And Amy, your ass ain't off the hook too, because word on the curb is you used to bring your knee pads to every meeting as a way to climb up that ladder over at, ABC, allegedly. So we do have some breaking news before we get to the child. Keke Palmer just revealed that she is pregnant. So congratulations to her. I did see that and I meant to bring that up. She was on Saturday Night Live. She showed her belly.
Pregnant, and I want to set the record straight. I
am. So she is. I'm like, shout out to you, sis. So, yeah, shout out to her. I'm glad to hear that she's pregnant. But anyway, back to the whole TJ Holmes situation. It wasn't until the summer that Phoenix saw grew suspicions of Robot because they started seeming closer than colleagues. Multiple sources told us Holmes and Robot would have random meetings during the day and hit the pub to have drinks with each other. Still, Holmes and his wife were fully together in August and even collaborated or celebrated his birthday with a trip to the Bahamas. It was there that TJ's wife discovered a birthday card from Robot that was too personal, and it brought back the old Natasha drama. She couldn't trust him anymore, the third source said. Now, another GMA news, as the story regarding TJ and Amy's affair started to unfold in the press, apparently it was an open secret among staff for years, with GMA anchors Robin Roberts confronting Holmes and Robot about the affair years ago. I have to say this affair is messier than both seasons of Apple Plus series The Morning Show, but child, I don't know, I can't. But so Page Six reported this week that the married co-anchors left their partners after an alleged month-long affair, but we're told the pair was plagued by internal speculation for years. One insider says Roberts pulled them both aside and basically said, "Stop it." Another source confirmed Roberts asked him about it because she was also hearing the rumors. The source tells us that Holmes denied it at the time. A third source confirmed that Holmes was very concerned about the rumors, to the point where he even took the issue to higher up. He was a correspondent at the time, and he didn't want Robin thinking that about him. He went to ABC Brass and got ahead of it to dismiss it because it wasn't true. No, he did to save his ass. because he was a correspondent and he wanted to move up and be an anchor. He wanted that Michael Strahan seat. That's what it was. So he was going to do what he had to do to make sure that he got a seat at the table. But because he's so damn sloppy, passing his community dick around to any old woman that worked in his field, you out here being messy. A fourth insider told Page 6 that Holmes went straight to former GMA executive producer Michael Korn because it was absolutely not true and it freaked them out. Amy and TJ's friendship took a hit when the rumors started. According to a source, Robach and Holmes were spotted canoodling in bars near ABC News back in May. She reportedly left her husband Andrew Shue in August. Well, the word is I had heard that as well because they said they sold their New York City apartment. Page 6 also reported that Holmes and his wife, Mara Lee, had been separated for 4 months, but we're trying to work things out, and that she was blindsided and devastated by the affair. Well, I don't know who necessarily is working things out, because it seemed like every time that you talk about you working things out, you out here dipping your community dick in the cooch. You out here laying it low and spreading it wide. And it's sort of like, did you really love this woman? Did you really want to work out this relationship? Or do you think that, okay, because of the pandemic and you being stuck and cooped up in the house, which a lot of us were when this pandemic happened, were you really trying to work out the relationship, or were you just trying to find a way to tolerate each other because y'all were caught up in the house? But now the pandemic is dissipated. Trust me, COVID is still around. I forgot who said COVID is over. I said, don't spread that misinformation, because it's not. COVID is over, is down, is the COVID numbers is going back up. Monkeypox is still around. Yeah, the press don't talk about it. But these things are happening. So we got some memes and stuff that we popping up saying that, so TJ Holmes and his work boo finna act like we ain't see what we saw yesterday. Raise your hand if you were as surprised as me to see both Amy and TJ OG today. Amy did look uncomfortable. Well, yeah, because y'all know the cameras is on y'all. And I just love how ABC people, y'all love to just act like there's no big ass elephant in the room, because everybody's watching. And I think what it is that the reason why they're not getting disciplinary or facing disciplinary action is because GMA3 is getting ratings. Quiet as I don't know anybody on morning shows like that. Good Morning America's types, especially a third hour. I don't watch Good Morning America. Like I said, I'm working, so I don't know. I mean, are they entertaining? Are they good TV before y'all found out the tea and about the whole affair? I don't know. Let me know. But I'm definitely I just feel like maybe they're keeping it around because, now people are going to be curious. People are going to be really looking at their body language more, because this is good news. This is also good news for ABC. Ratings. That's all they care about. How all this is going to look in the ratings. Have the numbers gone up? Oh yeah, the numbers is going up. Keep them there. So yeah, I'll definitely keep you guys abreast of this story as it develops, because it's going to be going on and on. I'm sure it's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. And I'm sure by the time we come around again, we're going to hear about a couple more women that TJ's been hunching while he was married to the other wife, to Mara Lee. Because I don't believe it was just a producer and it was just Amy. I believe there's more. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And like I said, y'all not going to sit up in here and the media's not going to sit and drag TJ without dragging her too. Because they both guilty. They both are serial cheaters. She's not innocent in this. He ain't closed his legs to a married woman or woman's, and she ain't closed her legs to a married man. So good luck to y'all, because like I said, we definitely gonna keep this story abreast as it develops. And once again, shout out to my girl Keke Palmer. I can't believe she's preggers. That was the shock of all shocks. But anyway, so we have come to the end of the show. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for those who've been watching the live chat and commenting and all the good stuff. Click like, subscribe. We'll see you next week. Till then, ciao, darlings.